and found the toe up and stuff, and then the inmate Fleece Johnson spit in her face. That's in the newspaper, so I did that too, to the governor. Man,
I mean, you might be considered a cannibal.
Nah, I ain't no goddamn cannibal. But I tell you what, it's a true story. In that penitentiary, I was so violent. They had 4 cells that nobody can go around. Because the people in these cells are the worstest that they got locked up. These is the kind that are cannibals. One of them, they had feeding them with raw meat and shit. So they put me on that walk. They locked in their cell. I said, all the cells is taken. They said, sleep on the floor. They trying to scare me, right? I sat there, and these motherfuckers, the one that eat people and shit, he's sitting in there like this. Staring at me and shit. I ain't afraid of none of these motherfuckers, man. I'm like, motherfucker said, hey, boy. I said, hey, your mammy. Dick sucker. Y'all fuck with me, man. I'm gonna be your worst nightmare down here. So when they asked me who I was and I told them, they said, we heard who you are. Every time I do something, they gotta lock the prison down. And then when they go back, they say, who was that ex? You know, I was Fleece Johnson. I was Fleece Johnson. So they done been hearing on me. Now they get a chance. Now I said, I laid down and talked to him, man. We joked and everything. I said, who you ate? I said, who's the first motherfucker you ate? Was it good? What did it taste like? I used to trip him out, right? Dude, he killed his wife over a duck. I fuck with him, right? Get him back up and go quack, quack. I said, you thought that was that duck, did you? You know, shit like that.
Damn.
I was just silly, man, but I fought so much in prison. Then when I went to the paralegal, man, we had a lawsuit that I took my case and contacted the Department of Justice in Washington. So they sent 3 civil rights black ladies down there to represent me from Washington, D.C. So they say, look, y'all got a class action already pending. We can take your case, combine it, consolidate that, take over the whole suit. We can get you out. They say, we know we can get you out of prison, put money in your pocket. We can get one judgment for everybody. I said, let's get one judgment. So I sacrificed myself. We won the suit, man. It cost the state, my testimony cost the state $200 million, bro. Now they really mad at me. Then they got mad at me when I tore up the lecture. I'm the only inmate in the country that ever got into the death chamber and tore up that room.
Yeah, why was you in the?
Man, Steve Galucious, man, he was a goer, man. They had me down on this walk, man, because every time you let me out, I'm fighting and shit. So they put me on the walk by myself, put me down there where the lecture chair is at in the death cells. This is where people go when they get ready to get executed. So I'm the only one down there. So he came and told me, said, I'll fix you up on food and all this stuff if you do me a favor. I said, what? He said, go on there and clean this room out. He said, don't touch nothing in there but the net that is around the lecture chair. Pull that out, clean it off. Don't try to sweep or nothing else. Just do that. I said, okay. So I went in there and sat in the lecture chair, crossed my leg. I'm sitting in the lecture chair. I smoked a cigarette, and then I started getting aggravated because I said, if I clean this motherfucker up and they put somebody in her, I prepared the room for him to be executed. I said, fuck this shit, man. I got through smoking, and I took a steel mop wrench, and I beat that chair. I broke all the glass, and them 2 handles they pulled down in that room, and right there, I tore that whole room up. And so when he come down there, I done already went back in my cell. He said, you'll never work for me again. Man, fuck you. And the governor back then was Martha Lane Collins. She was governor of Kentucky. And that is documented. It was on the front page cover of the Courier Journal newspaper that while she was governor, she visited the penitentiary to inspect the lecture and found it tore up and stuff. And then the inmate Fleece Johnson spit in her face. That's in the newspaper. So I did that too, to the governor.
What size? What height were you? What size were you back then?
Man, when I went in prison, man, I had like them niggas told my ass up, man, when I was in my from molested, man. I was like had a girl shape almost, man. I was like 22 in the waist and like motherfucking 36. Yeah, I'm 36 in the hips and fucking fat ass and shit. No motherfucking muscles or nothing, you know, just a angry little young motherfucker, right? But I got in there and I broke through all that shit and I fought my way through all them battles and stretched myself. I got on the boxing team. I knocked every motherfucker out that I fought. I never lost a fight in there. None of that. So, but you still, what happened in the past happened, man. But, you know, I don't let that dictate how I live in the future, right?
Yes.
My past don't dictate my future, right? I learned from my past and move on, man.
These are facts.
It's just like, I got a wife now, man, and so, too.
Can I ask you, how does MSNBC get to you, Dayline?
Yeah, so while I was in prison, remember, I done made over 60 guards quit their job throwing shit on them. I had guards bringing me whiskey and all that shit, so I wouldn't throw none on them. And I realized how
I don't want to skip past that part.
duty is so powerful. And look, they tell you, if a person tell you, you working for them, you can't put your hands on me. And you can't hit him, you can't fight him. And you know I don't care about going to the hole, I'm already in the hole. I don't care about time. I done picked up enough time where I don't even care about getting out no more. And I tell you, if you don't bring me some cigarettes, I'm gonna throw it on you. And throw it on you. And you go home, I make it so strong that the smell will be there for a week or two. It'll have a psychological effect on you, right?
Yeah.
Ain't no motherfucker gonna keep working a job and you really ain't paying me enough in the first place. And this motherfucker's throwing shit on me and you motherfuckers tell me I can't fight him and all this shit. Man, fuck that job. And they quit, right? And so
you were actually
I took over the prison.
You was actually
I took the goddamn prison over.
I mean, you would take shit, like you would keep it stored away, or you just actually shit on command?
Here's how I do it. I'm gonna tell you what led to it, cause I ain't failed, right? But I got a get back problem. They put me in the cell one day. I'm gonna tell you this. It's just disgusting. They put me in the cell. They were leaking water. I told the guard, we passed a cell can you put me in that one? He said, no. I said, can you let me talk to a lieutenant? He said, lieutenant's busy. I said, you ain't even. I said, lieutenant. I saw hollering. So when the lieutenant come up, bro, he said I was disturbing the walk. Handcuffed me, took me down in the dungeon. They stripped me naked and four-pointed me. My hands handcuffed and my ankles to the bed naked on my stomach. And they left.